I've got a question for you, and I know you're going to enjoy this one. How do you explain someone who was heavy into drugs and alcohol, and they read the Gospel of John, or any other passage in the Bible, and were transformed by the experience?
I would say they'd be much more likely to be transformed by the Gospel of John if they were actually on drugs still, because I'm pretty sure that John was on something when he wrote that Gospel. But um, that just it does once again, this personal. You know how I explain it, because the 12-step program requires that you accept God into your life in order to complete it. So, a lot of people have to accept God or Jesus or what have you just to get through the treatment program. And then when they come out of it, whether they consciously or subconsciously, made the choice to believe in God, that was part of their treatment program. And then if they come out on the other side and they're sober and they're moving on with their life and they're bettering themselves, then in their mind it's like, oh, well, God had something to do with that. Well, not really. I mean, that's in a way it's kind of indoctrination. And also, they've had other treatment programs aside from the 12-step program that they say are more successful, and that you obviously don't need to invoke religion into it. But yeah, I mean, people can absolutely be helped mentally by religion. It's comforting. It gives you a sense of self-worth. But and people may not realize that it's just a lie. I personally prefer harsh realities to comforting lies. Some people don't. Some people know that it's a lie, that it's not true, but they don't care because they just want to feel, what that gives them. And studies have shown that religion can help allay mental illness or sickness and things of that nature, or even help people recover from addiction. That doesn't mean that God exists. That just means that having more positive thoughts or thinking that there's something out there that's greater or watching over you, it can help you personally. So religion can have that sort of effect on people, but that doesn't mean that God exists. So anybody else want to chime in?
Yes. When someone comes up to me and says something like, "Oh, I've been cured by my addiction because of the power of God," my initial reaction is, "You're a liar." Because I'm in a very nuanced disagreement with you, Prototype. I think it's just I don't think that people are actually got over their disorder, or if they got over their addiction. I think it's just transferred.
Yeah, just let me clarify. I was just saying that religion or God belief can help allay the symptoms. I'm not saying that it can actually cure them. I'm just saying that it can kind of alleviate them for the time being. It's not a treatment. It's definitely not a treatment.
Okay, that makes more sense. But I think the issue that I often see in these sort of situations is that people, it's putting a Band-Aid on the bloody stump of your shoulder. It doesn't actually fix the problem, it just makes it kind of look a little nicer. So when someone, the 12-step program, the entire idea is to take advantage of people in vulnerable positions so that they'll attribute their successes to a god. I don't see it as an actual helpful program. I see it as a very insidious one.
I agree. I have family who are religious fundamentalists, and they tried to convince another extended family member of mine who was having alcohol abuse issues to go to the 12-step program, and he's an atheist. And he's like, "No, are you kidding me? I'm not going there. I don't believe in your God. As much as I want to get clean or help myself, I'm not doing that because I know what it is. You're not going to fool me." So.
Secular sobriety.
Yes.
Similar program, but it's much more about personal empowerment. But this is where it gets funny. I think the South Park episode got the issues with addiction and issues with mental health to a degree a lot better. You have to actually learn how to deal with it and live with this as part of your personality. Because a lot of people in the 12-step programs will be like, "There you go, you conquered it. Now you are completely over it, but you still have to pray 4 times a day." Like if you just transfer the obsessive behavior to something else, then you're not over it. And if you avoid alcohol your entire life, you're not over it. So, fun times.
I'd like to point out how what Proto was saying really does support my position as far as, you know, the dopamine. You're getting a surge of dopamine and all these other neurotransmitters that affect your mood or affect you, but it's only temporary. It's not really, and that's why they continually have to chase that feeling. But to provide some more anecdotal, funny ass stories for you guys, I actually had some Mormons come by my place a few months ago, and I managed to get one of them to whisper under his breath, "I know I sound crazy," because of the exact thing of questioning how he can explain the dynamic of him feeling the Holy Spirit move through him, as well as people of other faiths moving through them. You know, having their respective gods, or having the same feeling basically. How can they reconcile that? And he didn't have a good answer. He was just like, I just know. And then that's when he whispered under his breath that he sounded crazy, and I was like, well, you kind of do.